Hello everyone and welcome to my writing account. I haven't really talked on here yet. I am so excited I finally started this account. On here I am going to share a bunch of poems, mainly poems because that's what I write like pretty much every day. But I am currently working on a book series, so once I start really like diving deep into that, I will post little snippets of that on here. So it'll be a mixture of both. I am so excited that you are all here and following, and I am posting a new poem tomorrow. It's a little bit longer, and I am excited, and I like how it turned out, so check that out. Also, I've never done a writing question and answer before, so let's go ahead and do it. Ask your questions. So I'm kind of lucky in that with poems, I often find that the inspiration comes to me. Whenever I force it, it just never turns out the way I want. But very, very often, almost every day, I'm inspired to write poems. In regards to my book series, it is a little bit more difficult, but Pinterest and music really, really helps with that. And just being disciplined and kind of setting up a writing schedule. I usually just keep them in my notes in my phone or in my journal. I have two ideas for like major book series, and I know a lot about both of those ideas, but if I ever like think of a glimpse of another series, then I just put it in my notes. I was about 15 when I started writing, but I wasn't writing to write. I was just writing because I needed like an outlet, a way to express myself. And it took me like 2 years to realize that I actually enjoyed writing and I wanted to pursue it, so. No, I don't. I wish I did. Right now it's kind of just chaotic because I'm just trying to get organized with school first. And then once I do that, then I'm going to get a whiteboard and like an organizer and notebooks and stuff for writing. So it's just everywhere right now. Music, for sure. That plays a crucial part in my writing process and my creative process and all of it. Other books, movies like Lord of the Rings and Hunger Games and like big sagas like that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's very kind. Sending love. Fantasy, fiction, one might be dystopian. No, I like to write wherever. I mean, preferably my desk if it's my book, but for poetry, I one time wrote a whole poem while walking around at CVS. So if the inspiration hits, then I just have to write, but yeah, I don't know, they're all kind of dark. I wrote like a happy one the other day, but then it was also kind of dark, so I don't know, just kind of what I do. I like don't feel inclined to write when I'm happy, it's more like when I'm sad. That means a lot to me, and yes, I do. The first poem I ever shared with the world was about one of my eating disorders, and now, but yes, I struggle with all three types, so you are not alone. This made me laugh. No, they are not. But maybe I need to write a Spider Chronicles. So this is actually really difficult for me. It took me about like 2 or 3 days to kind of solidify the character names I have right now, and I still want to change them. I looked on Pinterest, I just looked up like fantasy male character names or female character names. And so I always thought it was like the morning or maybe the afternoon, but I've kind of realized that I write and like even do work for school best in the evening, which is not great because I try to go to sleep early. So we're trying to figure that out actually. So not at first. I genuinely really just love reading, and then once I figured out that I want to pursue writing as a career, then I started paying attention to the things that I liked and didn't like about the books I was reading. So, yes, in a way. So I write all of my poems in my journal, and then everything for my books I put on my computer. Which I probably shouldn't say, in case anyone ever steals my computer. But, no, yeah. Yes, I have always enjoyed it, but I didn't start doing it often and seriously until a couple of years ago. Also, let's get this straight because I keep getting like school writing questions. I hate writing for school. Like I'm really bad at them. Anything that I can't like put a story or emotion into, I just am not strong at that. I don't know what necessarily to share and what not to share, but I will say it's a very large cast because I've always loved reading books with really big groups the most. So there are quite a few characters. It was after I read Sarah J. Maas's Throne of Glass series that made me realize I wanted to be an author of like fantasy fiction, big grand series, but there are lots of writers that inspire me. Sarah J. Maas, Victoria Aveyard. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. No, I'm not in a writing group, and like any people that I share my work with are like critique partners or anything, or just like individuals. There are lots and lots and lots of answers to this question, but the main thing that I would probably like say to everyone, kind of like make it my default answer, I was homeschooled all throughout high school, and it could become super lonely at times, and I found myself turning to books a lot. I've always loved reading, but that's really when I got into reading and writing. So I just want to give back to the community that gave so much to me during my hardest times. I just realized I answered the same question without even realizing I was doing it. Like I said, there are so many answers to the question, why do you want to write? Clearly, because I gave you 2 answers right in a row. But like there's so many reasons. So that's why we're doing it. Because, and actually when I realized that I had to do, well, so I want to act and write, but the reason why I want to write more than anything else besides acting is because it just gives me so much satisfaction and fulfillment. Like every time I finish writing, it's like the craziest feeling of being like full. It's like the feeling you get after finishing a meal, but on like a different level. Not really like hunger wise, but it's just like I'm so fulfilled I can't even describe it, and that is why I do it. So you gotta find a passion that makes you feel that way and chase it like crazy. I thought I knew what poem I was gonna share today, but I want you all to decide. So do I share the poem about heartbreak or about I guess you could say depression? So vote right here.